Yo, writer dorks, these are 6 unpopular but effective creator strategies. Number 1, this is the best strategy when you're starting out. You don't necessarily have to write every single day. I mean, really, you should, but it's not totally. Look, if you can't write at least 100 words at least 4 times per week, like if that seems like too much to you, you should ask yourself whether you honestly want to be a writer or whether you're just chasing passive income. Writing is a skill, so the more time you spend practicing, the better you will get. Ignore people who say otherwise. They have not produced enough quantity to understand this point. They'll say, you don't get better if you just write the same level of quality every day. And again, they're ignorant of the process of mastery. Plateaus and setbacks are inevitable. Your growth will plateau, the feeling will suck, you will wish your skills were improving faster. Keep going anyway. When I was learning Spanish, I had to push through at least 10 plateaus. Now I speak Spanish better than 99% of non-native speakers. Mastering a skill is not always fun. Another reason to be consistent is because you will figure out which topics you keep returning to. It's hard to figure this out when you write sporadically. Anything can be interesting for a week or a month, but when a topic can hold your attention for years, that's an important data point. Publish 2 to 4 articles per week. Some can be very short, some can be longer. And here's a tip for fiction writers. Don't worry about making every chapter amazing. Just get into a rhythm. Publish draft 1 of each chapter. Alternate between your fiction and your other interests. You can release an improved version of your fiction book later on, but right now just get the first draft out. Just publish it. Publish each chapter as you go. So for the next year, aim to publish 2 to 4 articles every week on one platform only. So 2 to 4 articles or 1 short chapter of fiction. I recommend writing on Medium because you can possibly get a few dollars and meet a lot of other writers. I do not recommend chasing boosts on Medium unless you have a friend who is a boost nominator. Nepotism is the only dependable way to get consistent boosts on that website. And if you don't even know what a boost is, don't even worry about it. It's not worth your time. If you already have a few dozen friends on Substack, then stay there. Stay wherever you're currently at. Next year, or whenever you achieve a sustainable rhythm, expand to another platform. By that time, you should be able to easily write longer pieces. So the takeaway there is be consistent and focus on one platform only. Okay, number 2, you need to make this decision as soon as possible. Decide right now that you're going to turn pro. This doesn't mean you quit your job today and start writing 40 hours a week. It means make the mental shift from amateur to professional. The muse doesn't respect dilettantes. Dilettantes don't get good ideas. They just get writer's block and an occasional random bit of inspiration. This decision hurts. It's messy. The path of mastery requires years of work, pain, dedication, sacrifice. I wish we could hack our way to $13,000 a month, but I've been writing for a long time and looking for ways to avoid everything I talk about in these videos. So when you make this decision, you might feel guilty that you're like trying to be better than the people around you. If you feel better than other people, that's okay. If you feel guilty about it, that's okay too. Maybe you're better than them, maybe you're not. That's not important. What's important is turning pro. As messy as this decision is, it's also incredibly freeing. You no longer have to care about the interpersonal drama that all your friends and family want to drag you into. You'll realize that they create drama because they are running away from something. It's easier to create drama than to create something beautiful or valuable. We artists don't run away from things, we confront them, if only because we need something to write about. Creation is sacred. I'm pretty sure all religions agree on that. The Bible starts out with God creating everything. Writers get to imagine something that only exists in the upper dimension, and then we bring it into this realm. It's pretty cool. Turning pro releases us from the tyranny of inspiration. We don't have to wait for inspiration anymore. Artists who only work when they're inspired are fooling themselves. The truth about the muse is this: she only comes if we show up every day and are dedicated to our labor. The magic happens when you sit down to work. The madness, the flashes of brilliance, the uncontrolled moments of genius, all of it comes when you sit down to work. If the muse knows where and when to find you, she will. Amateurs will never understand this, and they will whine endlessly about those of us who do understand it. Key takeaway: make the decision to turn pro right now. Number 3, this one is going to hijack your brain and give you unlimited inspiration. Everything is material. Trips to the grocery store are material for your articles or your novel. Blocking people who say, "I receive a lot of racist hate" on Medium is material. You listening to me right now and hating everything I'm saying, material. Take a deep dive into my Medium archives. Scroll down until you reach posts from 2018. Keep going. 2017, 2016, 2015. Look how crappy my old articles are. Turn that into material for your own writing. You can write something like, "This writer is horrible and he's out here giving writing advice? Inconceivable." We are writers. Everything is material. This is a blessing and a curse. You might find that you cannot read for pleasure anymore because your brain is always scanning for new material. Oh, a fiction book about haunted VHS tapes set in 1980s Mexico City? Let's write about that. The good news is that everything is material. The bad news is that everything is material. If you want specific examples of how to put this into practice, check out this video that's on the screen right now. Go to the 10-minute mark, roughly. It's 6 things that help me write more than other people. Key takeaway: everything is material. Now let's go to number 4. This is a controversial truth that only prolific writers will accept. Starving artists will never understand what I am saying in this part. New writers don't want to hear this, but it must be said: successful writers repeat themselves. It's okay to publish the same thing over and over again. Let me illustrate some examples. 2 of my favorite military action writers are Tom Clancy and Mark Greaney. They write the same damn book over and over. Now that I am in the genre of whatever this is, writing advice, there's a guy who I found called Tim Denning. He is one of the most successful people on the internet in this genre right now, and he writes the same 9 sentences in different ways every time he sits at the keyboard. And people keep reading it. Nobody would call Tim an artist, right? So here's a better example. I dated a dancer in college. Do you have any idea how much they repeat themselves? They do the same dances hundreds of times in endless rehearsals. I know they're endless because I sat through dozens of them. Writers need rehearsal time too. Your Medium or Substack blog is rehearsal. Rehearse in public. But I'm a hypocrite. I have complained about people writing the same damn thing over and over and over. That's because I am not immune to basic bitch mentality. But my daily writing habit forces me to come into contact with my dipshittery on a regular basis. Humans want the same thing over and over and over. Human psychology never changes. We are all 5-year-olds. You have seen 5-year-olds watch the same movie 400 times in a week, right? My niece watched Frozen 4 times in one day. You are not different. You do the same thing. You have TV shows that are like a comfort blanket. You listen to the same songs over and over. Here are some examples from my own personal life. When I pretend to be a race car driver, I do laps around the same 5 tracks. My favorite video game is Mass Effect 2. I'll never get sick of it. I'll probably play it when I'm 90. I keep coming back for the characters and the atmosphere. I've seen every good episode of The Simpsons at least 12 times. My wife has watched every episode of La Lola, which is an Argentine telenovela that has no right to be as good as it is. She's watched that like 4 times all the way through. Some examples from the world in general. Bookstagram chicks have read The Fourth Wing 85 quadrillion times. Maybe an updated reference would be A Court of Thorn and Roses. I don't know. Back when Harry Potter books and movies were still coming out, an ex-girlfriend of mine and all of her friends read every single Harry Potter book and watched all the movies every time a new entry was released. Marvel movie marathons were common a decade ago, before Endgame. Do they still make Marvel movies? Nobody knows, nobody cares. People watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy every single year. Christopher Lee, the guy who played Saruman, read the books every year. Human psychology is human psychology, and whining on the internet about something we mistakenly call artistic integrity will not change that. It's okay to say the same thing over and over. People did not hear you the first time. You didn't even say it well the first time. You can say it a little better next time. After 900 times of saying the same thing, you might finally say it well. And maybe somebody will hear it. And then when they do hear it, they will forget it in 3 minutes. So you can say the same thing again and your reader will hear it again, but they'll think they're hearing it for the first time. And this time they might remember it for 10 minutes before they forget. And when your reader has heard the same message 50 times, they will finally start to understand it. And when they understand it, they will want to keep hearing it over and over, again and again, and again and again and again, forever.
Again and again, and again and again and again.
This applies to fiction too. Every story has already been told, but not by me, not by you, not with the unique color and tone that you and I bring to our writing. Artists have this need to be extremely original in every word we write. I wrote my most original stuff when I was 15. It was original in quotes, but none of those books are finished. Let's finish more projects instead of pretending our originality is as precious as our ego thinks. Key takeaway: repeat yourself. Number 5 is instant network, and this lesson is probably the most important one in this video. Tattoo this phrase onto your brain. Collaborate, don't compete. Here's a cautionary tale that explains why you need to start collaborating ASAP. I spent 20 years trying to become the greatest writer of all time. Did I achieve it? I think I'm pretty good, but while I was doing that, a bunch of hack-ass writing gurus swooped in and pooped a bunch of worthless writing advice onto the genre that I spent 2 decades studying. They would write garbage like, use power words in your headlines. Thanks, guys. Got any other sage wisdom for me? There's one guy who literally doesn't, he's a writing guru, and he literally does not use commas. He would write things like, if you want to write, period, then you should write, period. I'm not kidding. He's one of the most successful writing gurus on Medium right now, and he does not know how to use commas. So all of us real writers were too busy writing our masterpieces in secret and hence not collaborating with each other, so gurus came along and turned this genre into easy passive income. Don't let this happen to you. Don't write articles, build networks. Find 5 people in your niche every week, start conversations with them, share their work, suggest a collaboration. So these can be articles, short stories, poems, whatever. Don't focus all of your effort on becoming the greatest writer ever. The word all is vital in that sentence. Instead, become a social butterfly. There are good writers on Medium and Substack, and you can be friends with them. Stop being an introvert. Or at least, pretend. Pretend you're not an introvert. We are writers. We create entire worlds in our minds, but we can't pretend to be sociable for a little bit. Come on. Lesson 5.5 is pay it forward. As you build your audience, you will find writers who have fewer readers than you. Pay it forward. Do for them what the big boys never did for you. Promote their work, share it with your audience, read everything in your genre, find passages worth quoting, and then write an article showcasing it. You can expand on an idea from the original piece, or you can simply write about why the other piece is awesome. This is a win-win-win. You win because you get an easy article, the other writer wins because they get extra exposure, and your audience wins because they probably would not have found that writer without you helping them to find the person. Some of those small writers will grow much faster than you, and they will remember that you were always cool to them. The key takeaway there is nurture your network. Don't let introversion be an excuse. Now, number 6, kidnap your readers. You know what question I hate? Who are your readers? This was always an impossible question for me. I could never understand it. Who is your ideal reader? I don't know. I'm just trying to write my stuff. Then I started engaging more. I searched the topics I enjoyed reading and writing about. I found writers on Medium and Substack who had already captured a large readership in my genre, and I began stealing them. Yes, highway robbery. Here's how I kidnap readers. People who like politics. People who like reading about writing. People who like reading urban fantasy. Like reading urban fantasy. Your readers are promiscuous. They don't just read one person in your genre, they read a lot of writers. There's no reason you can't become another one of the people they read. Find writers in your genre who have a large and active readership and unlocked comments. Open one of their most recent popular articles, join the conversation. Don't be a spammy dork. Don't tell people to read your articles. Social media is a party. Just interact with people. On Substack, sort the comments by most recent and engage with the commenters. Don't just go down the line replying to every single comment, but when you find one that's worth engaging with, drop them a like, give them a quick comment. To be clear, you are not just leaving a comment on the writer's article. You are engaging with their readers. You're stealing their audience. You're becoming the life of the party. Social media is a party. When you're at a party, you don't walk in the door and shout, "Buy my stuff!" Instead, make friends, tell jokes, laugh, maybe embarrass yourself a little. And so that's how to treat social media as a party. That's going to wrap it up for this video. So if this video was helpful for you, subscribe. I have a lot more really good videos that are coming down the pipeline. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.